Good morning, everyone. Tess here with your AZ Family on the Go podcast. This Thursday morning, it is yet another first alert weather day. Triple-digit temps and extreme heat warnings are in the forecast once again. But finally, the monsoon bringing some rain overnight to the valley, cooling things off a bit. The heat obviously still a major story this morning as new numbers from Maricopa County this week confirmed 25 heat-related deaths so far, with nearly 250 under investigation. The county has brought in 10 massive coolers to store bodies in case the space is needed, sadly. The county tells us this is an unprecedented move during a heat wave. The only time they recall taking any kinds of measures like this was during the pandemic. We're also learning a farm worker in Yuma who collapsed in the fields last week died in the heat. It's renewing a push to do more now to protect workers in these conditions. State Representative Mariana Sandoval says the Arizona State Senate needs to pass legislation to protect workers from extreme heat like this. She issued a statement saying this death is a sign that Arizona is failing our farm workers, who she calls the backbone of agriculture in the Yuma community. In Washington today, the White House will unveil new steps to try and provide relief in the ongoing nationwide heat wave. The plan includes issuing a hazard alert and tougher enforcement laws to protect workers. The Biden administration is resisting calls right now to declare a climate emergency, despite a push from some climate activists and Democrats.
We got a cooler, so we put some towels and then wrap them around us to cool us down.
Well, it's not exactly the desired temperature to move in.
Meanwhile, another 7 heat-related deaths confirmed just last week in Maricopa County. In Gilbert yesterday, Greenfield Junior High had to cancel their classes after the AC went out. Temperatures have hit at least 110 degrees every single day this month. And let's check in with April because we know today, at least today, we're not expecting to change that, April.
No, in fact, our excessive heat warning has been extended again now through Saturday. We're expecting highs near 116 degrees today and 115 Friday and Saturday. Rain chances are pretty slim for the valley today, but it should be another active day of storms in the high country. Last night's storms brought a brief cool down and some decent rain for parts of the valley. Rainfall totals were generally between 1/4 of an inch and an inch. No rain was recorded at Sky Harbor, so officially our dry streak for Phoenix continues. It'll likely be broken this weekend as storm chances really climb. A weather disturbance moving in from the south will bring abundant moisture Saturday through the beginning of next week. Storm chances are near 50% on Saturday and even higher on Sunday. This will also likely bring our temperatures back below 110 for the first time in almost a month by Sunday or Monday.
Thank you, April. And as the summer heat continues to pummel us here in the valley, student athletes are trying to get ready for the upcoming season. Some sports like football practice outside in July and August, but in this historic heat wave, schools have to follow strict guidelines, which include what's known as an acclimation period. So students spend 2 weeks building up their tolerance, gradually increasing the amount of equipment they wear. When temps climb to where they are now, practices are modified or canceled altogether. The AIA relies on athletic trainers to make these decisions.
We're always working on educating the schools and the athletic trainers, the athletic directors. As the Sports Medicine Advisory Committee, we review all of our policies annually, and we send out reminders.
If it's too hot to practice outside, they can also review films in classrooms. Experts want young athletes to watch out for signs of heat-related heart problems. Doctors are concerned about the possible causes, like genetic disorders or severe chest injuries. They encourage everyone involved, from the trainers to the players and family members, to have a plan for possible health emergencies.
If a player were to collapse on the field, knowing what to do, knowing how to assess if that individual is having a cardiac event, how to start performing CPR, and knowing where the closest automatic external defibrillator is and having access to that and how to use that.
Organizations like Red Cross and ASU offer certified CPR and first aid classes. For about $40, you can learn how to perform these safety and often life-saving measures. Glendale police have found Alicia Navarro safe and alive nearly 4 years after the teen went missing. She contacted them from a small border town in Montana to identify herself. Navarro, who is now 18, went missing back in September 2019. She told police she left home on her own, but Glendale police says they're not ruling anything out in regards to her disappearance. Investigators say obviously right now there are still a lot of unanswered questions in the case, and they're asking for patience and privacy for the family.
Every indication she's given us so far is that she willfully left her home, her own free will and choice. Now, the dynamics surrounding that decision are obviously something that we're looking into.
Glendale police wouldn't release the name of the town she was found in, only that it was about 40 miles south of the Canadian border. There's also no word on how or why she ended up there. There's a legal battle brewing in eastern Arizona right now. A former police sergeant shot in the line of duty says he was recently forced off the job by the town of Eagar, that's east of Greece. Sergeant Jason Casillas filed a $5 million notice of claim against the town of Eagar and Springerville and their joint police department. Casillas was shot in the head in the line of duty 8 years ago. He stayed on the force but applied for medical disability retirement benefits this year. He says his request hasn't been granted, so he's been forced to take another job while struggling to pay the bills.
It's hard to believe, it's hard to swallow. These same people I protect while I was an officer, and I thought they had my back, and it's not that way.
Officials in Eagar and Springerville say they can't comment on pending litigation. New affordable housing is going up in the East Valley for veterans and seniors who are homeless or at the risk of becoming homeless. The nonprofit A New Leaf offers services and resources for people in need. The organization plans to build 54 new affordable housing units at Main Street and Dobson in Mesa. It's a $30 million project, and it'll be funded through the American Rescue Plan. The apartment complex is specifically for veterans and seniors, some of the fastest growing homeless populations. We spoke with one veteran who called this life-changing.
There's so many people out there that need a place to stay. Like it's hot out there, and and some people just need a place just to get their mind together and just get their thoughts right.
There's just a real high needs for veterans and seniors that may not affect the regular population with respect to they're on a fixed income, they may not have family or other resources to help them. So it's important that we address the needs of those two populations specifically.
Pricing for each unit hasn't been finalized, but folks will be able to use housing vouchers through the city of Mesa when it opens. Summer rain apparently eroding some Pueblo ruins on the Navajo Nation. This backcountry site in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, isn't open to the public but holds a lot of cultural significance. So now the Park Service is working with a museum here in Arizona to preserve the ruins. A team of archaeologists as well from the Museum of Northern Arizona and geophysicists from ANAU mapped out the eroding Pueblo last month to figure out how far it spans. For now, the Park Service is working with the tribe to make a plan for the future of the site.
These sites are ancestral to a lot of the tribal people who are still living in that region. And those sites are really important in their history, in their oral history, in their cultural traditions. And so Chaco Canyon holds a really significant place for those people. And they share in concern about its longevity and what happens to these sites.
This technology has been around for decades. It's used in projects like this to collect data without disturbing sensitive sites. Have a great day, everybody.